Hi guys, if you want to know how I took a pair of basic white Air Force Ones and turned them into these beauties right here, please stay tuned and I'll let you know all the details. Okay, so these are the items that you'll be needing to use. The E6000 Plus glue. The first time I ever bought some, I got some at Hobby Lobby, but I have not seen any E6000 Plus glue since I've been there. I have seen the E6000 glue, but I prefer Plus because it does not have a smell to it. The other one has a very, very, very strong chemical smell. You can get this at Michael's, but I got mine from Ace Hardware. It's a little bit cheaper in there, so that's where I prefer to go to get mine. The rhinestones I got from Be Createful. I will have everything linked down below. These are the rhinestones that I used. These are the D-rings that I used. These came from Amazon. They will be linked down below as well. This is the type of drill bit that I used. These two are the same. Originally I just bought one, but then whenever I realized how hard it was to get the holes done, I went back and bought this one, but I use this one now. You see how much smaller, skinnier, and it still goes up to the width that you need it to. So I would say get this one. This is the spool of rhinestones that I used for the little laces, I guess you could call them. This is some heat shrink tubing that you can use to put on the ends of them for the laces. This one I got from Amazon, but I did not use it on the shoe. I'm just showing you all what you can use. They have different colors, so if you wanted to go with this, that's perfectly fine. Or this is also what I have. I can use these to go on the ends of them as well, as far as the heat shrink tubing. I could put these on the ends of them. I got these from Amazon as well, but I also use these for like laces. Like if you do like children's shoes and you have ribbon laces, you can use these to put on the ends of the ribbons. As you can see right here, I used up pretty much all the ones that I used to use, but yeah, you can use these for the end of the laces. They will act as aglets. You definitely want to go in with some acrylic finisher. And then me personally, I would spray the shoe with some type of water resistant spray or dirt resistant spray just to keep them, in good shape. Okay, so I started out by using a pencil to mark the areas where I wanted to put the little D-rings at. And then I took my X-Acto knife and then marked in it with those. Then I tried seeing whether or not they would fit, and they did not. So then I used this little piece from a drill to make the holes bigger so that I can fit the D-rings into them. That did end up working for me. I was like, okay, I see it does fit, so now let me go on to the next thing. Okay, so I started using this drill bit to make the holes bigger. It was not working very well for me at first, because there is a little cloth backing on the shoe that gets in the way and makes it hard. It like tangles up whenever you're trying to drill through there. But as I said previously, I ended up getting a smaller drill after I did these shoes. The next pair of shoes that I did, it worked well with the smaller drill bit, but this one, it took me a while. I was struggling. I also took this little cloth piece out because I didn't really see the use of it and it was in the way. It was just tangling up. So I used an X-Acto knife and some scissors to cut it out. Normally, I would acetone the shoe before I start. I don't know why I did it later in this one, but yeah, I would just do this, ahead of time. Now I'm just taping up a little bit of the shoe. That way I can go in and do my paint splatter. I put this little raggedy shirt on there, and I just used the brown paint, the Angelus paint that I had, and also use my heat gun to dry it so that I can get finished with it as quickly as possible. Right here, I started mixing in my brown paint, a little bit of white with the brown, and then you of course some paint thinner.
I think I wanted to add in some beige, but my beige was super super thick. Like clearly, I needed to do something about that. So then I just went through and I painted the shoe. This dark brown. Well, it's a little bit lighter since I added the white and the paint there into it. But then after I painted with the brown, I guess I mixed some of the brown with the tan and then went in with that. Probably some white too, and of course some paint thinner. I mean, a 2 thin paint thinner from Angelus. And then after that, I believe I went in with the D-ring. So I did do at least 2 to 3 coats of the paint. You know, you don't want your paint thin or, splotchy. So I went ahead and put the D-rings in. Honestly, making this shoe was really fun for me. It was my first time doing something like this, and I have not stopped since. Now, putting these in honestly was not very hard, but um, I guess getting the D rings through the sole, and it's not the sole, through the shoe in some areas, it was a little bit thicker. So it was a little bit harder, but it was actually kind of fun for me to do this. So now I'm just going in with my rhinestone lace thingies and seeing if they would fit and seeing like where they would go or how I would like them. And then I went in with this wool ball brush just to paint the sock liner. So at this point, I went ahead and started putting the rope laces in. And let me tell y'all something. This was so hard. Please make sure your holes are big enough. I'm telling you. You may also want to put like a piece of tape on the end. That way you're able to get them through easier. It'll make it a lot easier to be able to like pull them through. And then it kept like unraveling sometimes whenever I was putting it through. It was giving me a run for my money, but you know what? We made it through and I'm grateful for that. Okay, at this point, now that I was done, I decided to go through with the rhinestone string or lace, whatever you want to call it, and put it through the D rings just to see how everything was going to look. And I did end up liking how it looked, but future reference, I will not be using this anymore. Like if I do shoes for a client or a customer, I will use the rhinestone laces. I will not be using this because it just doesn't stay. It doesn't stay the way that I want it to, and I think the rhinestone laces will actually stay the way that I want them to. Okay, and this was the finished look, and I was like, I'm not sure if I want to go through and put some rhinestones on the check mark or not. But you know what? I decided that I would. So I used some E6000 Plus glue. Some people use E6000 glue. I like the Plus. It doesn't have a smell to it, but the only thing I don't like is that it doesn't stick quickly. So sometimes the rhinestones will like shift. You have to like really look at them and like make sure they're not going anywhere. And then this is me this is me finishing up with my rhinestones. And this is the official finished product. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you.